Hello gamers, and today we're going to talk about how to beat Swarm Disaster Difficulty 4 because I did it yesterday on stream at twitch.tv/you2can'tsee me. And a slight disclaimer here, this might not work for everyone. I'm just going to go over the ways that I used to beat Difficulty 4. When I beat Difficulty 4, I was using the Destruction Path, but I only had the first level of the Destruction Path here. I didn't get this the last level until after I beat it. So as far as like our levelings here, I did not have very many of these, so I went in pretty raw, just really with the attack bonus we got here with the Destruction Path. So like I said, we're going to go over the strats that I used to actually beat this, as far as the team composition that I used, and what I think, as far as in theory, what could carry you through these stages, as far as what I've heard in my comment sections and stuff like that. So I want to go ahead and hop in here first to show you what I had to beat Difficulty 4, and then we'll talk about some theories after that. So first things first here, guys, I do want to say that my team is going to be Danny, Ting Yun, Japard, and Bailu. Yes, a very 5-star heavy team. And the reason this is I don't think you necessarily need to use Japard or Bailu, correct? Or even Dan Hong. You really just need like one really strong DPS unit. You need like a good support unit, and then you need 2 like sustain type units. That's like the main thing you need to run here. I think if you don't have like a super strong DPS and you don't have super strong sustain units, aka Bailu and Japard, even if you have Locha, you probably need to run an extra sustain unit with Locha to beat these stages, especially like stage 5 and even stage 4 at some points, right? So this is the team that we used here. Like I said, after the fact, we'll talk about some other things you could run, so stick around for that. And we also going to talk about the giveaway for Fushuan after that as well. And let's go ahead and talk about the relics and everything I was running on each one of these characters now. For my Dan Heng, his stats are not that good, I'm gonna be honest with you guys. His HP is around 3,300, which is okay. Defense around 1,000, so he can tank a couple of hits there. And then the attack. The attack is what kills me here. So the attack's only at 1,800. Now, of course, the S5 light cone here can bump up my attack quite a bit, especially whenever we attack the enemy. This will help out a lot, but like I said, you do have to like attack the enemy multiple times for this actually to activate. So this is actually a pretty free-to-play friendly Dan Heng here. As far as like the actual traces and stuff goes, they're pretty low level. Talking about the relics now, the relics are pretty leveled up, I would say. Not all level 15 though, just because, you know, like I said, the stats aren't there. We have 73% crit rate, 97% crit damage, so not all the way there. And on top of that, we have E0 here too. Hopping into Ting Yun now, E4 Ting Yun does help out quite a bit. Speed and extra energy here can help out a lot as far as what she can do. As far as the light cone I'm using on her, I'm using Crave the Moon, Weave the Clouds, which is the Battle Pass light cone, so this is a pay to win, I guess you could say, light cone. Other options you could run here would probably be, you could probably run meshing cogs to regenerate energy a bit faster. Realistically, I don't have very many destruction light cones. I mean, this one I hear could work past in future, but you have to make sure she's speed tuned correctly with Danny, so he's getting that extra 24% extra damage bonus there. And then finally, her stats, guys. Her stats are okay. She has 2,300 HP and 896 defense, so she is really squishy. So I will be relying on the sustain of Bailu and Japard. If you can get these 2 stats up to make her tankier, that would come in clutch, like a lot actually. And then of course I have her over 134 speed, 139 speed, just to make sure she's outspeeding Daniel. Now on Japard. Japard is pretty, I would say, pay to win. You know, he has his moments of victory, which is his signature 5-star light cone. It does help out a lot in like as far as like defending your team. But I will say this is not really gonna mean shit against the final boss. His shields get torn through against the final boss. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. As far as his stats go, his HP's at like 3,300, defense 2,500. Not very high on the defensive front there. His speed's super low. I do need him speed tune better. His traces here, not very leveled up. His relics here, not very leveled up. You know, I probably could run Von Wax set to help out the recharge right here. I am running Energy Regen Chain, which helps him get his shields up a lot faster, but I think the Von Wax set would help out a bit more just with that extra 5% that we have, but we don't have a set like that right now, so that's what we're dealing with. As far as what we have here, E0 here as well. Now hopping into Bilulu here, she does have 4,500 HP, 1,000 attack, 900 defense, so she is pretty tanky, honestly. Her speed's really low, crit damage really don't matter too much. Her effect resistance is probably only, yeah, it's only 10% right now, so we're not even proccing off our step bonus here. We're running the 2-piece keel set, but we don't have enough effect resistance to actually proc this off. So very scuffed set, as you can see here. Not even maxed out HP up here, not maxed out HP down here, not maxed out HP up here, only level 3 HP. So, you know, there's a lot of room for growth for our Bailu here, of course. Now, as far as what we're using for our light cone, we are using our S5 post-op conversation. There are other options you could run, though. If you do have perfect timing, I think perfect timing could come in clutch here. With running perfect timing, you can get a perfect 30% effect resistance here, which can help out a lot. Now, you will have to superimpose that one time. I mean, before that point, it's going to give you less effect resistance, but you really don't need that much to really get up to the threshold you need for keel. I would recommend running this if you have it. But for me right now, this is the one that I have leveled up and S5, so we're using this one right now. Trace is also really down bad, and it's also easier as well, so there you go for that. So as far as the path we went down, we went down the destruction path, like I said, and we also multied that up with the 3 of the preservation perks here to get the 50% of shield on your allies whenever they reach a certain threshold of HP, which is this one right here. Using Path of Resonance will cause any character with HP percent lower than 50% to gain shield equal to 40% of their max HP, lasting for 2 turns. This is the blessing that we got combining both the destruction and preservation paths, and I will say we had 22 of the 24 buffs here for the destruction path. So we were stacked. We had almost every single destruction buff here. I want to say for preservation, we had about 7 preservation buffs. So we were getting a lot as far as like shielding and stuff like that goes. And then finally, one major thing that really sealed the deal for us was, first of all, we had this rare propagation buff here for Danny, which if he uses a basic attack, it will deal 30% of the original damage to random adjacent targets, which did help out as far as damaging like other enemies and stuff like that. Our damage number absolutely spiked when we had this. And something that actually saved me in the final boss fight was Hunt. And the reason why Hunt saved me is because we got this 3-star Hunt buff here, the Hunt blessing here, that'll actually advance forward your action by 100% when you weakness break an enemy. This came in so much clutch. This also paired with this rare Hunt buff here, which gives you energy regeneration whenever you kill an enemy. These two came in clutch because I honestly would not have been able to beat it without these 2 buffs of breaking enemy shield and keeping Danny going and keep ulting with him and just keep outputting damage, because if it would have lasted one more turn, we would have died, like absolutely died. We of course had a couple of abundance ones as well. We were stacked with buffs. By the end of it, we had 42 buffs, so I did have 23 destruction buffs, 2 propagation, 7 Hunt, 7 preservation, 1 of the remembrance, 1 agility, 1 abundance, and yeah, we didn't have any of the elation ones. And of course, as far as the curios go, we had the extra damage coming out of the red robe. We also had this little cloud man here, which actually comes in clutch because he restores your HP for every single turn you take with your allies. So that helps out with just keeping them alive. And then we had the extra damage coming out from the CD disc here, which increases your damage dealt by 8% with swarm domains and swarm boss domains, so this did help in the final boss fight there too. And as you guys have probably been seeing in the fight we're currently in, we are getting really close to death at certain points, and all of these buffs are really saving our ass. Like I said, you really need a lot of buffs to beat this, and you need to be really lucky on RNG, especially when you don't have that many of the path buffs already. This came to me on this is the second try of me attempting difficulty 4, so we got really lucky with the buffs. But now I want to kind of talk about some theories and some things that the comment section have said that will actually help you beat this game mode, or beat difficulty 4 of this, and maybe even help you beat difficulty 5 for this new game mode, because difficulty 5 is extremely hard from what I hear. Alright gamers, so this is one of the teams that was brought up to me in the comment section of what they used to defeat difficulty 4 and what they were using to defeat difficulty 5 right here. So it was QQ, Don Hung, Natasha, March 7th, running the preservation path, and this was a pretty common trend amongst most of my comments that I saw beating difficulty 4 was actually using the preservation path to just cheese your way through it. And you know what, I think it's a very good strategy to use if you're trying to beat it, because the enemies hit like a truck. So I'm assuming they're probably pairing up this preservation path with like something like remembrance, which helps with freezing the enemies, and maybe agility as well, probably not as much agility. And they're probably also pairing it up with some of the propagation buffs as well, knowing that QQ uses a lot of skill points, these will come in clutch for using QQ, and QQ will absolutely destroy enemies here. So I can see this as something for sure that people use with the propagation path, is using something like this with their QQ, right? Because QQ is going to be your main damage dealer on this team. Now, something else that I saw someone in the comments say, they swapped off their Danny for Baranya, and I can definitely see Baranya working here. Baranya will provide an extra cleanse to the team, so that means we have 3 characters on the team that are cleansing, because debuffs are pretty prevalent in this game mode. And on top of this too, she'll also provide an extra damage buff to QQ when getting advanced forward. You probably need like a bit of a tankier team to run You probably do need a bit of a more like pay to win team to do this. You probably do need Bronya's light cone for this to actually work on her, so you're getting those extra skill points back for QQ to use. And QQ probably does need to have higher eidolons. She probably needs at least E4. E6 would be really nice, but E4 I think will be essential as far as like getting through this game mode with QQ. Of course, you don't have to run March 7th. You could swap this out for something like Fire MC here too and run just fine, or you could run like double tanks here as well, like Fire MC, tank part, Bronya, QQ. This is also a strat that could work by running the preservation path. Most of the things that I've seen, most of the teams that I've seen people use, just use the preservation path, because I think that's probably just going to be the easiest to keep your team alive and like kind of like cheese your way through it. It might take a while to complete it, but I think this will carry you to victory and complete it. And one final team that I saw someone using was March 7th, Chapard, Pela, and also Locha here as well. And they were using the path of Remembrance. So I can't personally try this out because all of these are super low level, and I don't have Locha, so I can't really try that out to say the validity of that. I know Remembrance has been pretty strong in the past, but I can't like actually attest to that. So yeah, gamers, that's gonna do it for today's video on how to beat the new Propagation Swarm events. Difficulty 4, and possibly could beat you difficulty 5 as well. And just as a tidbit, if you didn't know, the reason why difficulty 5 is so much harder is because the enemies are level 95, and usually if you're 12 levels over cap, like if the enemy's 12 levels over your level for your character, they get like double the damage, and they also get like double the resistance against your damage. So that's the reason why this stage is so hard. Just a little tidbit of information there if you didn't know already. So anyways, guys, that's gonna do it for this portion of the video talking about the Fushuan giveaway. Now all you need to do to enter the Fushuan giveaway, guys, is going to be subscribing to this YouTube channel here and also joining the Discord. Everything for that will be a link in the description down below. Make sure you join the Discord, subscribe to the YouTube channel. Whenever you get to the Discord, you'll need to go to the giveaway section and hit the little party popper icon to enter your chance to win your free Fushuan. Anyways, gamers, that's gonna do it. Please subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Later. Bye-bye.